Hello, how are you? I welcome you to our podcast tonight. Is my delight that you have been having a blessed day, and God has blessed you. And I've come here so that we can be able to analyze some of the situations which are happening in Kenya, and we can be able to ask ourselves, what can we pinpoint from the things which are happening? It's now clear that for the pursuit of peace and for the pursuit of inclusivity, Gashagua has decided to withdraw his candidate from Mbeere. So nitataka pia elect utakuja, we analyze that, we percolate that, and we ask ourselves, what is Gashagua looking for or looking at when he has withdrawn his candidate from Mbeere? And I have an explain. I think Gashagua is doing something which maybe anatakata hii, lakini Gashagua is doing something which we call a long game. So I'm looking for a paper. Yeah. So Gashagua is looking for the long game. I think Gashagua doesn't want to see the opposition splitting, and I think it also looked to that level whereby it is like playing some selfless nature of it. So nimesikia wakisema all the other seats maybe in the general election they will field everybody, but kwa hii wameamua kuachia DP wamalize term yao. That is the main point he used. Amesema hiyo kiti ilikuwa ya DP na aone ni vizuri waingililie. So yeye anasema wacha candidate wa DP akuja amalizie. I hope Kevoi who was vying under DCP in Mbeere will be able to understand that, na ataanzia kusema anataka kwenda kwa inaitwa nini, independent. So I would want us to pull in one direction because lazima tuoneshe UDA kivumbi kizuri. We need to show UDA serious dust hapo Mbeere. So I think Gashagua was looking for unification, which at times is very difficult to achieve. Maybe Gashagua is building that momentum that he can be a unifier. And as a watcher, he can leave even something which is so needs an awachilia. And this is what will happen, I think, and to me it's very good as a person who is dealing with the data. And by the way, Gashagua data is looking very good now. Nitawaekea hapa sababu nimeona siku hizi nakataa kuwaekea, mnakuja mnaekoa za mizani za uongo. So wacha niwaekee data hapa ili sasa nyinyi mnakuja mnawekewa mizani. So I don't know what is happening to our Kalonzo. I'm hearing in some quarters that he is doing very well. Mimi nitakuwa naweka poll yangu hapo. Be the judge. So Gashagua seems to be polling very good so far. And this one is not about that I'm a surrogate to Gashagua. This one is very independent. No, and unfortunately, Kalonzo is not doing well. But ile shida niko nayo ni I'm hearing, nakutana na mavideo mingi sana watu wanasema opposition have agreed to back Kalonzo. Sasa naanzia kujiuliza na data iko wapi? So there is that stiffness. Na nilisemanga hiyo story hapa, there is that stiffness Although nimeona Gashagua has decided to force coalitions, which is okay, but frankly speaking, Kenya ni kama Wakenya wataki story ya coalition. Wakenya wanataka mtu wa kumaliza. Kenyans want if so like kama leo nimeona some government bloggers wanaoneshana like let me tell you, hakuna inchi you can build it without tears. Countries are built from tears. Countries are built from tears. So nimeona some government bloggers wanaoneshana the devastation which has happened in Nepal, and they are saying if that is what we were pushing, let me tell you, a country can be brought down and it can be rebuilt, but a country can stay in a stagnant mode forever. Nyinyi mnasema mko na nchi. Let me tell you, hii situation ya Kenya is the worst. Ile situation, the Kenyan situation is the worst. Ile mnasema kuna pali mnaenda na kuna pali mnaenda. Na Kenya ikiendelea na ile trajectory tuko nayo, hata tupewe miaka 200, we will never have anything. Let me tell you, there are people here don't understand how countries are built. In 1871, America, they had something they called civil war. Waligongana kabisa, and they built a nation from there. So hakuna historia ya nchi ya kusema hatutaki. Status quo will never allow you. They will never allow you. You push them. Wale watu wanajifanyanga ndio wenye nchi, hakuna ile siku watakuja wakupee. They will never give you. There's nothing like ati unapewa, ati wacha tutulie tutapewa. Ati wacha tutulie tutapewa. Uwezi pewa. You fight. That's why it is said, even Americans say, fight for your rights. You cannot be given the rights. You fight for them. I don't know why, like, as Africans and the Kenyans, we are becoming lazy. Sisi tunakaa hapo tunasema tutapewa. You fight for rights. There's nothing from the government you get. Katiba ni mkupewa, mulipewa. How many people died by the time mnapata katiba? So one day Kibaki wakes up na anasema Kenya, hii ndio new constitution. We promulgated in 2010. Yes, that is what Kibaki did in 2010. Tunaamukia, Kibaki anakuja anasema katiba ndio hii, tuipigie kura. That is what happened. There is nothing like being given. So anything which, if you don't fight Ruto, you not get it. Wacha niachane na hiyo vitu, mtaanzia kuniambia na Kioyo naye huyu ni nini mbaya. If that is you have to fight a government to get anything. There's nothing like ati serikali itasema haya ni kama hata mshahara. How many people hapa, nataka kuwauliza wale mmeifanya kazi pahali, ni wangapi hapa umewahi your employer amewahi kupigia simu anakuambia sasa mkubwa, tumeona sasa tukuongezee mshahara? Wewe umelima vizuri sana, umeng'oa mchele vizuri sana, hatuwezi kulipa 200 pa pad. Wewe tutakuwa tunakulipa 400 500. That day does not come. Inakuanga fujo. Inakuanga fujo. Even footballers wanahama. Unasikia mchezaji wa Man U anasema mimi I need $85,000 per week. Alafu Man City wanatokezea wanasema tunakugonga huyu mtu 200. Huyu jamaa anangoka. It is usually violence, like si ati kitu ati inakuja ati hapo ati mnaanzia kuongea. That's why I'm trying to say here, government will never give you. Ati serikali sasa ati Ruto aketi hapo atianzie kusema tumesikia mambo. Okay, occasionally ametokezea hapa na kutuambia amesikia stories zetu. What did he do? Did he do anything to help us? Nimesikia vile hata vile mliattack bunge jana, we don't want that issue, tumesikia stories zenyu. Anatokezea kwa TV anasema tumesikia stories zenyu. What does he do? Si ni kutoa Murkomen anamuweka pahali. It's like Murkomen. So those are the issues. So government will never give you things which you deserve. So and usikasirika na Gashagua at once. Gashagua, there is something which he has achieved. There is something which Gashagua has achieved by what he has done today. Na ndio nataka kuwaelezea psychologically. Number one, Gashagua has managed to be amorphous. So Ruto will not be able to understand his popularity until tunafika pale, which is very good. If Gashagua subjects himself to public scrutiny now through having a candidate, it will be sasa wataanzia kumgauge. Sasa Ruto ataanzia kusema, you see now, right now Ruto cannot say wale watu watapigia UDA ni wake, because already Gashagua had a candidate huko. So story ya bragging na story ya, because Ruto was waiting. That's why I'm now trying to tell you now. Gashagua is like has defeated Ruto through his own game. So Ruto was waiting. Ruto was waiting to have bragging, anzia kubraga. See, mnaona hata hii watu ya DCP, because Gashagua has understood that these people want to sabotage. It's an intelligent thing. Na mseme ati ni vile ati nimekuja, I'm creating a narrative. I've looked at it psychologically and in warfare, when it comes to political warfare, how you analyze it. Angalia Gashagua. If Gashagua is subjected to critical analysis right now, Ruto now will start even saying hata hii watu ya Mlima Kenya hawajaenda. So Ruto will have to go to the drawing board na anzie kufikiria watu wa Mlima Kenya, how can I still do it? Because sahi he wanted to gauge himself through Gashagua. Gashagua hiyo mtego ameruka, na Grado nataka usikilize hii. Sasa hiyo mtego ya Ruto alikuwa anataka, unajua Ruto alikuwa anataka sasa jamaa ya DCP achaguliwe na 40%. So you do that backing right against him, but so that's has your time. Some of us here you will come to understand me later. Saa zingine you don't want to be. Oh, I'm breaking. Itabidi sasa tufunge basi kituo tuanze tena. Hata sasa ina break. Na nimeweka. Yeah, of course they would not want me to give that analysis, especially venye sasa venye nimewapea Paul hapo. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to say. Am I still listenable? Naskika. Njiro ukobrare. Aya. Musiende na what about now? So, this is the explanation I wanted to explain to you. In the short term, it doesn't look good, but in the long term, it looks good, because sasa Gashagua has postponed critical criticism right now, because Ruto will have to bring another strategy to compare himself to Gashagua, or to claim that he has started to consolidate some a bit of Mlima Kenya. So hiyo kitu imekuwa prolonged. So it might happen next year June, it could happen next year March. Lakini saa hii Ruto will not get that. So you know Ruto alikuwa anataka kumalizia Gashagua haraka kama amujui. So he wanted to do it quickly so that now he can now declare that this election is done. Because in the interim, ukimaliza Gashagua saa hii, upinzani umeimaliza. And I think sasa Gashagua is aware of that. Is aware of that. Gashagua knows if there is a way, there is a picture which is showing that he is not okay politically. Opposition is gone. So in some intelligent way, you want to prolong that engagement, that hiyo story ya watu wanakupima, and in that he is intelligent. Politically is not a very good move because wafuasi wa DCP wanataka hiyo bragging right. People wanted to humiliate Ruto through DCP. Either way, Ruto will be humiliated. Ruto cannot win in Mbeere. Let's be clear about that. Whichever the candidate will be brought, as long as your candidate wa upinzani atapita. Let's not have two ways about that. Ruto will be humiliated in Mbeere. But in that humiliation, he will not be able to punch Gashagua as a direct. So Gashagua ameondokea kidogo, because that is the trajectory we have been using, whereby zile by elections ziko karibu na uchaguzi, we use them, or we start judging and saying that hizi mauchaguzi zinaoneshana vile uchaguzi itaonekea mbele. So sasa Gashagua has dismantled that ideology, whereby we want to use by-election as a means to capture a second term or to capture the government. The same thing which Ruto did. After bringing to us Kawanjiko, Kagege 001, he now started claiming that Kenya inakaa hivyo. So one intelligent move Gashagua has done, he has denied them that. You need to defeat Gashagua squarely in his own party to claim that. Okay. Hiyo inaweza kuwa tunapotelea. No. And I'm trying to tell you in terms of psychologically and the long-term effect. In the short term is not a good move, but long-term effect is good. Because you might end up losing a number of people here. Enough is enough. Enough ati No. Gradually, you don't need to worry. In fact, na msiseme nimeanzia kukua psychophant wa Gashagua. I have analyzed it and I've looked at it in a battle way of when you're in a battle. Utaki kutoa kifua mapema, itapigwa risasi. So Ruto will not be able to declare that outright win that ameshinda Gashagua. So we are going to win Mbeere. There's no two ways about that. We are winning Mbeere, and in double-digit numbers, by the way. When I'm talking of double-digit number, ni tunashinda Ruto Mbeere with 40-something%. Huh? So when is enough, ati Gashagua is is insufficient. So Anna anasema nini? Kagure, tutakuambia as we move along. So no, Kagore hapa mambo inaendelea. So there is so much which is happening, and I think Gashagua is learning something here. Gashagua is understanding that to him, the other people he is campaigning with, they can be used against him. Wacha sasa niwaweke sasa kuangia number 2 sasa. Gashagua knows that if he is not able to collaborate with these guys, watu watakuja watumike against him. So he will be a lone ledger. He is trying to fight that element of being a lone ledger in a very severe and heinous government. He doesn't want to fight alone. So kama ni kiti ya mbele, we need to sacrifice and we work together. I'm in for it. So that's how it is. So it's like he is looking at the bigger picture. Unajua saa zingine, you might want small things and you lose the bigger one ahead. So, and I'm double sure that we might not be very happy of what Muturi is doing now. But Muturi will also remember the things which have been done to his party now. And so you are talking about Nepal. How is the politics of Gashagua? So what I'm trying to explain here is that we are on the trajectory and we will win this one. But remember, we need a political process to eject Ruto out of power. Now that sasa hii yetu ya streets ilikataa. Unajua mimi hata nilibadilisha trajectory. We are no longer in the streets. We are not in Nepal situation here or Sri Lanka situation here. Hawa yetu itakuwa we have to eject Ruto out of power through a political process. And the only way in which we can be able to win on a political process is we have to own it. We have to own that political process. We have to be the people who are we are calling the shots. We have to show that inclusivity. So I think Gashagua has understood that trajectory very well, that unity has to be the key, because tunataka kung'oa Ruto hapa. It is not something I wanted. I'm that person who anatakanga vitu zisukumu haraka haraka, but to some extent we will have to agree with how things they are here, because at the end of the day we don't want to have so many splinter groups which will work against us. We have to look, even if we don't like them, our akina Babu Owino, we have to look for on ways of how we will be able to work with them, because if these people go to work with our enemies, they can also be used as weapon of sabotage. So ile kitu tutafanya ni, let's look for ways in which we can be able to work together. It's not the best thing to do now. It is very unpopular now, but we can popularize unity. So I think Nepal has had 17 leaders in 17 years. Yetu ya Kenya mnasema lazima mmoja agonge 10. Na sasa mumeanzia hata kumusema ati 2 term. So I have seen them hata wanaonesha. Let me show you what the government propagandists are doing for a while. Niwaonesha tu what the government, so that you can be able to understand. I don't believe in this, but these are government propagandists. Nataka niwaoneshe what government propagandists are showing us about what happened in Nepal yesterday. So So that is what government propaganda is doing. When they have published that, so that tuanzie uoga, Nepalese people are not idiots to have done that. Sio kupenda kwao. So let's not come hapa na tuanzie kusema, if they had a good functional government, they couldn't have done that. So Moses Kuria said he will deliver Mbere to who? Question. Anna 14 leaders in 17 years. So that's what I'm trying to say, that despite, no matter the disagreement, hata tupingane aje, no matter the disagreement, at the end of the day, we have to agree that the clarion call is one. Ruto must go. Hata tupingane aje. So I have no problem with the open criticism, direct criticism, watu kupingana hapa na pale, bora tunajua kamba tunaguza aje. No problem about that. These people because already Nepalese have understood that hakuna mtu atawahi kutengenezea nchi. And let me tell you what Gen Zs did and they were not able to do. It will need another man to come and finish that job. You cannot leave your assignment na mtu mwingine atakuja kukumalizia. Pale Gen Zs waliacha, another generation will have to come and pick from there. That is the unfortunate part of it. Hiyo ndio shida ya kuacha kazi nusu. Huwezi songa mbele. So Kenya, unaona pale Gen Zs walifika, the fact that Kenya we have not been able to reach kufika hiyo level ya kuoverturn a president, that is a milestone which will have to be achieved in Kenya, tupende tusipende, either now or in the future. Hata kama ni watoto wetu watawahi kuja kufanya hiyo kazi, hiyo ni kazi itabidi ifanywe Kenya ili system za Kenya zibadilike. So story ya kung'oa rais mamlakani is an assignment which Kenyans will ever have to do, whether in the next 20 years, 100 years, 200 years. If hiyo milestone hatutai achieve, we should not wait for any changes in Kenya. Hiyo story ya kung'oa mtu mamlakani, hiyo nayo, hiyo job nayo lazima itabidi tumalize, whether it is with Ruto or with another person. Itabidi Kenya wang'oe mtu mamlakani so that we can be able to streamline our life. Otherwise, I have said it here, we will never get a president who will come na atupe kile tunataka. Our systems will always be against us as long as we have not completed an ouster in Kenya. So whatever Gen Zs did, they did a good job. Lakini Gen Zs wajue, they never finished the homework. The assignment was not done. So it has been marked in 50%, but hiyo kazi itabidi imalizwe either in their generation ama ni watoto wao. It's unfortunate. So until Kenya ousters a president, that is the day when we will see that a milestone has been achieved, whether in this generation or next generation. But somebody will have to do it. You see, hakuna mtu. Revolutions in countries, you cannot be helped. Another country cannot come and help you to improve your governance. It is out of your own problems you rise up against the systems and the things which are oppressing you. Si hata sio kitu tunakuja kuambiwa. It is a self-calling issue. Inakuja inakuita, unasikia sasa kulingana na vile kuko. I have to receive a call here, 1 minute, musiende. Amwezi ngoja. Ati napenda vile ametuachanisha. No, sasa nyinyi amwezi ngoja. Sasa sinaona you have already dropped. Yeah, occasionally. I couldn't refuse to pick that call. So na ni kama mlikuwa mnataka nichukue msikie kile naambiwa. Nyinyi graduate. Amujui simu. Amujui simu ni siri. Yeah. That's what's called a phone call. Not phone calls. It's a phone call between you and the other party. Yeah, anyway, but unajua mungeengage kwa discussion kidogo hapa. So unajua hata occasion hata kwa darasa mwalimu anatokanga. Mwalimu anatokanga. So sijui kama mnakumbuka ule best wetu ameuawa jana, and actually today I have seen their family speaking. Hiyo saa zingine ile wakati pia mtu anaua mtoto ya mtu inakuanga kitu mbaya sana. Graduate anasema tunawaacha hapa. Graduate, we have seen I'm important. Even if that's how you know you are important. You're important. You are just glued here. Anyway, other than that. Anyway, I really appreciate that. Sio rahisi. Kungojewa sio rahisi. Nilisikia hata Putin anangojeangwa hivyo. Putin anakuambia anafika saa 8, anafika saa 10. Kazi yako tu ni kukaa ukiangalia nje. So sijui kama mumeona hiyo story. And please, if you have not also subscribed us, this one is also a moment and an opportunity to subscribe us also as well. 2 people to fika 2050. 2 people to fika 2050. We are 2048. So you are our Wakenya, kuleni tu pesa, but siku ya kupiga kura mutumia akili. Gradual, not gradual. Samekosta wewe. Unajua kuna pesa iko na kakamba. In 2013, I remember. 2013 it was. Mimi, I even traveled from Nairobi niende nikapige kura kule mashinani. There are so many women walikuwa nasema hapana, mimi nani nimekula pesa yake bana, lazima nimpigie. Wewe Samekosta wewe. I was hearing wamama wakisema hapo kwa kura, hapana. Nani nimekula pesa yake mimi. Huyu mnaniambia nimpigie, nimekula nini? Unless that talk line has disappeared, I'm not sure if I was hearing hata hapo kwa line, hapana. Nani nimekula pesa yake bwana. But at least in my experience hapo kwa kungojea kura, I was so proud because that time, yani unakuta yani kwa kijiji hii nitawafurahisha now that tumeleta history ya kura. Yani kwa kijiji unasikia watu the call has come again, sorry. Well, So that is what happened. So tuko hapo tunangojea kura ihesabiwe. I remember, so kura inahesabiwa, alafu kura ya mkereketo wa Mr. Raila Odinga tunapata kura 3. In our polling station tulipata kura 3 ya Raila Odinga. Hadi unasikia watu wakisema hii kura tunajua ni ya nani hii. Watu kwa vile wako na ubaya bwana. Hii kura tunajua ni ya nani. Mmoja ni ya Njiru, alafu hao wengine sasa na mzee mwingine hapo. Can you imagine that? Wacha niseme story hapa. Can you imagine that kura ya upinzani inajulikana nani amepiga? Yani people in the village wanafika to that level like they know. So sijui kama pia kwa polling station yenu you could be able to like mnafika level mnasema hiyo kura ya Raila 3. Hiyo kura ya Raila 3 yani like people could say ni ya huyu na huyu na huyu. Anyway, people in the villages ni wakali. Wacha niwapee Gashagua kidogo musikie akipeana, we call it pressure. We call it pressure. Wewe wacha. We call it pressure.
Hi there, Roger Connect, President, Universal Accounting Center. I would like to introduce you.
Okay. Fellow Kenyans, ladies and
I want us to appreciate attendance of the famous people. Kuna Marara, kuna Gasheri, aka kwa hapa mbele, ako ni Gasheri. Nasikianga Gashagua akikasifu sana. Kuna yule senator wa Kirinyaga pale. There is Mukonji. Unaona huyo jamaa ako nyuma ya Malala Kiriofa. Huyo jamaa ni mrefu kidogo. Huyo tu jamaa, hiyo vichwa mbili imeshikana hapo. Kichwa ya Malala, huyo ni Mukonji huyo sasa ako hapo. So, although I was seeing many people complaining that kwa nini Gashagua amesoma hiyo statement na ingesomwa na Kiriofa. Anyway, wacha tusikie mkereketo akisoma ujumbe taarifa, akituarifu. Unajua msimama angekuwa hapa, unajua siku hizi sababu ya kushikana na watu wanakimenya lugha lazima, so wacha tusikie bwana Gashagua akitutaarifu. Unajua akina Grador na Sami Costa mnaweza fikiria mimi Kiswahili sikijui. No, this is Mukonji here, Anne. So I think they have come to agreement. They have come back to their...
Gentlemen, today we met as the National Executive Council of the DCP party at our headquarters, and in attendance were honorable members who are great friends of the party. When we agreed on the following: 1, as we approach the by-elections scheduled for 27th November 2025, and in preparation for subsequent nominations and elections, the National Executive Council has enhanced 2 vital organs of the party: 1, the National Elections Board; 2, the National Appeals and Dispute Resolution Panel. These organs will provide the expertise required to ensure fair, transparent, and effective internal processes. As a party, we are firm in advocating for democratic governance, the protection of civil liberties, and the defense of Kenya's sovereignty against the excesses of the punitive Kenya Kwanza regime. Kenya will witness 1 senatorial, 6 National Assembly, and 17 ward by-elections on 27th November. Has resolved to work closely with like-minded partners to secure victory for the DCP candidates across the country. In the spirit of collaboration and fairness under the united opposition and our resolve to unity ahead of the 2027 general elections, leading to the identification of one presidential candidate to face William Ruto. We have agreed that DCP will support the Democratic Party in Bere North constituency, acknowledging that the seat was previously held by the Democratic Party and should rightfully be retained for the party's candidate to complete a full term, and hence DCP has agreed to give support to the Democratic Party candidate and start down our candidate at DCP. This decision has also been informed by the recognition that the Honorable Justin Bidan Muturi, the party leader of the Democratic Party, is a great leader from that region with enhanced capacity and undoubted leadership qualities to lead the Democratic Party into winning the seat. We shall therefore support the Democratic Party candidate and ask our members in Bere North to support that candidate from the Democratic Party. Number two, we have also agreed that we support the Wiper Patriotic Front candidate in Mubuni Ward in Machakos County under the opposition banner. Equally, we have also agreed to support the candidate of the DAP Kenya candidate in Kabuchai and Chwele Ward in Bungoma County. For other elective positions, DCP shall field and mobilize fully to campaign, popularize and seek votes at our party ticket. As we compete, we shall respect our opposition parties in those regions, mindful that democracy is the preserve of every Kenyan. This consensus and agreement among the parties in the united opposition only applies to the by-elections. However, let me confirm that in the 2027 general election, DCP shall field a presidential candidate and other candidates in the 290 constituencies, 47 counties, and 1,450 wards across the Republic. Three, to strengthen our campaign machinery, NEC has today established a fully equipped electoral secretariat domiciled at the party headquarters. This secretariat will coordinate strategy, logistics, messaging, branding, and resource mobilization for our candidates. Security and national concern. Fellow Kenyans, as a party, we are deeply concerned with the security situation in northeastern Kenya and particularly in Mandera County. We have spoken not once, not twice about our diplomacy and Kenya's interference through William Ruto on external affairs of other nations, including Somalia, Sudan, Southern Sudan, DRC, among others. The Constitution of Kenya, Article 1, reminds us all sovereign power belongs to the people of Kenya and shall be exercised only in accordance with this Constitution. Yet today, that sovereignty is under siege from foreign forces and a leadership too timid or too compromised to defend it. The Democracy for the Citizens Party therefore registers its deepest outrage at the continued presence of a foreign militia from Jubaland entrenched in Mandera County and its environs. This is not just a policy misstep, it's national betrayal. Kenya, once an island of peace and stability in the Horn of Africa, has now been reduced to a staging ground for foreign forces and rival militias. This is a dangerous affront to our sovereignty and a mockery of sacrifices our gallant soldiers who fought for decades and shed blood to secure our borders. Let it be known, Kenya is not for sale, and for not an inch of ourselves shall ever be occupied by foreign powers. Bwana Ruto, you shall not sell our hard-earned freedom for a mess of pottage. We the people shall reclaim it. The Constitution of Kenya, Article 238, Sub-Article 1, states, national security shall be pursued in compliance with the law and with utmost respect for the sovereignty of the people of Kenya. And Article 241, Sub-Article 3, makes it clear the Kenya Defense Forces, KDF, shall defend and protect the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the Republic. The silence from the Commander-in-Chief is all telling. Little can be left for guesswork. If William Ruto's recklessness and casualness as militia from Jubaland continue to wreak havoc on the Kenyan soil is anything to go by, he must be advised that the presence of foreign militias in Mandera County is a direct violation of international law and a breach of Kenya's diplomatic obligations. DCP party therefore demands with immediate effect, 1, that Jubaland militia and all foreign militia be flushed out of our country and the Kenyan soil with immediate effect. 2, that the learning institutions in Mandera closed due to invasion by the Jubaland militia and other terrorist groups be reopened immediately and learners be provided with security without fail. The children of Kenya should not pay the price for cowardice or business interests of William Ruto and his allies. Number 3, that the KDF be allowed to discharge its full constitutional mandate without interference from corrupt individuals in the executive who seek to mortgage Kenya's sovereignty for personal gain. Mr. William Ruto, we are putting you on notice that Kenya's territorial integrity is sacred. Our sovereignty is not negotiable. If you cannot defend the people and the Republic of Kenya from foreign invasion, not forgetting your bloody track record over the last 3 years, you know the honorable thing to do. I urge the patriotic people of Kenya to stand firm and defend our constitution, safeguard our sovereignty, and protect our children's future before it is too late. The freedom we enjoy today as a country was never given to us. Our parents went into the forest and shed blood. The DCP party reiterates that our commitment to Kenyans is anchored in justice, fairness, democracy, and accountability. We shall remain steadfast in defending the rights of all citizens, working with partners under the United Opposition banner, and ensuring that the will of the people is respected, protected, and fulfilled. God bless you. God bless Kenya. That's very good. So,
yeah, storo ndio hiyo. Tukasirike na tukasuruke. Ya, unajua saa zingine you get hungry and you body language ya Marara na Mukunji don't worry, Anne. By-election is a small thing. We don't need to fight because of a by-election. We have the bigger price up. So I agree. So wacha niwaekee ya Citizen inasema hata wamesema kadi wamewambia ni yule Muthoni Kifagio, kama amujui Muthoni Kifagio.
2025 IRS tax forgiveness now has open enrollment. It's easy to qualify.
Former Deputy President Rigathi Gashagua has vowed to rally his Democracy for the Citizens Party, DCP, behind the Democratic Party's candidate Newton Karish in the Mbeere North by-election. Karish is set to face off with President William Ruto's United Democratic Alliance candidate in the November 27th contest. The DCP has also resolved to back other outfits under the United Opposition, including Wiper and DAPK, in the upcoming by-elections, as NTV's Laban Sheban now reports.
The Democracy for the Citizens Party has thrown its weight behind the Democratic Party's candidate Newton Karish in the upcoming Mbeere North by-election set for November 27th. The move follows the withdrawal of DCP's own flag bearer Duncan Mbui, who had been cleared to contest but was asked to step down in favor of strengthening the opposition unity. Aggrieved by the decision, Mbui has opted to run under the Chama cha Kazi party. He will also face Leonard Muriuki Muthende of the United Democratic Alliance in what is shaping up to be a highly competitive race.
DCP will support the Democratic Party in Mbeere North constituency, acknowledging that the seat was previously held by the Democratic Party and should rightfully be retained for the party's candidate to complete a full term.
The seat fell vacant after Geoffrey Ruku's appointment as Cabinet Secretary for Public Service. DCP leader Rigathi Gashagua further revealed that the party's National Executive Council will back member outfits in other upcoming by-elections across the country.
We have also agreed that we support the Wiper Patriotic Front candidate in Mubuni Ward in Machakos County under the opposition banner. Equally, we have also agreed to support the candidate of the DAP Kenya candidate in Kabuchai and Chwele Ward in Bungoma County. For all other elective positions, DCP shall field and mobilize fully to campaign, popularize and seek votes at our party ticket.
The former deputy president was speaking after a consultative meeting that also resolved to strengthen party organs, including National Elections Board and the National Dispute Resolution Committee at the party headquarters in Nairobi. Laban Shaban, NTV.
Unasema mimi hata sikuwa nimejua huyu jamaa sharuka huko kwa Moses Kuria. Wow. Kumbe bwana Mboya ako sasa kwa Moses Kuria. Yenye huyu jamaa amesema lazima nifike kwa debe. No, lakini he will not make it. And I can assure you that. I think people will mobilize now for the DP guy. He will try. Wow, sasa na Moses Kuria ni wanani? Who is Moses Kuria working for? Anyway, no comment there. So Gashagua ameoneshana yeye ni mzalendo. He can give out anything for kuwekea hii ati 3 years ya Ruto. Sasa 3 years ya Ruto ni gani? Wow. Unajua mimi hupenda kuwachanganya sana. Nikipatana na kitu inawasisimua, mruhusu tu niwaekee. Na msiseme I used to be a teacher na walimu wana behave hivi.
Let's turn now to this. Former Vice President Kamala Harris is not holding back in her new book titled 107 Days, which she says really went down in the White House around the time former Vice President Joe Biden had to decide if he would throw his hat into the 2024 election. Now, in an excerpt published by The Atlantic, she called the move from the administration to stay quiet reckless, saying at the time it was a, quote, mantra in the administration to say it's Joe and Jill's decision. She added, was it grace or was it recklessness? In retrospect, I think it was recklessness. Harris goes on to write, the stakes were simply too high. This wasn't a choice that should have been left to an individual's ego, an individual's ambition. It should have been more than a personal decision. Our very own CBS News executive director for the White House and politics, Finn Gomez, was one of the people on the campaign trail with Harris during some of those 107 days. He joined us early.
Poleni, ni vile nimekutana na hiyo kitu nikajua kuna watu wanatakanga kusikiliza vitu kama hiyo. So hiyo kuna yule amesikia it was reckless to allow to vie. So saa zingine on sad news, nataka kuwaonesha mama yule kijana yetu ameuawa. In fact, his brother was also a lawyer. Wacha tungoje ane. Gachagua hataki sibling rivalry. Yeye ni wa mrengo ya even sibling rivalry kills. Anyway, wacha tupange 2027.
My name is Tori Hinton. I am a certified child life specialist here at St. Jude.
Mboma ndio hii wakina, that is the brother of our slain lawyer.
Kindly.
Coffee and when I.
He's also a lawyer, by the way. As usual, mnajuanga mtu akikufa, we want speedy investigation. Even zingine which they don't hold water. That is the brother. That is the brother of the slain lawyer. He comes from a normal home like all of us.
So. No.
Mtaona mama yao hapo. The mom is coming. Yeah, it's just a normal home. So wale watu wameamua kuua huyu kijana ama kuua huyu jamaa, that is the mother. That is the mother to our slain lawyer. Saa zingine
tumekuwa tukiishi vizuri. Thank you.
Hayupo bado amesikia story. He seems successful. Unaona ana maneno mingi.
Kindly.
Sawa.
Thank you.
Hiyo mesia.
Amwako bana muimea you to say anymore. At least from here. Nairobi tukutane. Yes, and we'll be able to give they will even be able to give a comprehensive statement at a certain point. Mami. You're going to be kindly.
Then the family which lost the lawyer yesterday. Ndiye mama wa huyo kijana. That shooting which Kagura hujasikia jamaa anapigwa risasi Kenya. Ni the mother. Hapo na mafikira mengi. You can imagine.
Yeah. Thank you and God bless.
Asante sana kwa jina, naitwa James Maluki. Mimi ni ndugu mdogo wa wakili Kyalo Mbobu, yule ambaye jana aliuawa Nairobi na wahuni. Na mimi pia ni wakili, ninafanya kazi Nairobi, na leo nimesafiri mpaka mashinani hapa kijiji cha Mayiani iko Mukaa sub county, Makueni county. Huku ndiko wakili Kyalo Mbobu alizaliwa na akasomea Nairobi na akaendelea mpaka chuo cha UON, University of Nairobi, akasomea sheria. Wakili senior ambaye amefanya kazi miaka kama 37, na ni wakili ambaye alikuwa na ukakamavu wa kazi, wakili ambaye alikuwa mtu wa kutumainiwa, wakili ambaye alifuata sheria zote ambazo zimewekwa za mawakili za kufanya kazi, na alikuwa mtu ambaye amefanya kazi nyingi. Mbali na uwakili, Kyalo Mbobu amekuwa pia ni lecturer wa University of Nairobi. Kyalo Mbobu ameandika kitabu cha The Law of Evidence. Kyalo Mbobu amesomesha Kenya School of Law. Kyalo Mbobu alikuwa chairman wa Political Parties Tribunal na amefanya mambo mengi kama wakili. He is also a leading arbitrator na amekuwa akifanya alternative dispute resolutions kwa muda mrefu. Na sasa kile tunasema kile kimefanyika jana ni jambo la kuhuzunisha sana. wakili ambaye anafanya kazi yake na mtu ambaye ni wa kutumainiwa namna hiyo nimetaja, kuuawa na wahuni sio jambo zuri, na yetu ni kuappeal kwa serikali hiyo jambo iangaliwe sana, ichunguzwe, kwa sababu tunahitaji kuwa na freedom of movement. Tunahitajika as professionals, we need to do our work without fear of intimidation, without fear. We don't have to look over our shoulders to see who could be pursuing us, particularly when we are doing sensitive cases or we are involved in our professional work. Kwa hivyo tunaomba serikali ichunguze hiyo jambo, iangalie kabisa na hao wahuni watiwa baroni na hiyo jambo la aina hiyo likomeshwe. Kwa hivyo ni kusema yetu ni appeal kwa serikali na ni appeal hii maneno iangaliwe, kwa sababu sasa itakuwa ngumu sana professionals kufanya kazi tukiwa na misukosuko ya aina hiyo, kukiwa ati unaweza kuuawa kwa sababu ya vile umetenda kazi. Asanteni sana. Huku ni vile nilivyosema, wakili Chalo alizaliwa huku. Mama yetu ni mzee sana, na alipopata ile ripoti ama habari ya taarifa kuhusu kifo, Chalo is our second born brother, third in the family, and I follow him in that line. Initially, we were 12 in number. It was a large family. Some of us have rested, they have gone to be the Lord, and the rest are involved in various activities. Tukijenga hii nchi ya Kenya kwa sababu sisi ni patriots. Kwa hii familia, vile nimesema, we are 2 lawyers. We have bankers, we have people in various professions, na tumekuwa tukiishi vizuri kama familia tukiwa tunatia bidii. Sasa mpaka tumeshtuliwa na hiyo ambayo ilitendeka jana.
So you're telling me that it's not healthy to obsess over your partner 24/7 like I do? What you've described there is
inakaa shooting iko kila pahali. Yeah, I'm just receiving some news also, like a very famous American guy, Charikaka. We are waiting for feedback also. Nasikia ni kama amepigiwa, he was shot in Utah. Yes. So we hope he is safe. But around 1 hour ago, alipigwa risasi. So inakaa intolerance is global. Ni jamaa mdogo, ni vile he has seriously embedded himself in politics. Wow. So hata Kamala Harris ameanzia kuongea imtoke. Anasema it was reckless for the government to allow Joe Biden to vie for a second term. I think kuna vile ni kama alikimbia sana, I think. So wacha niwaekee Sonko kidogo, alafu we can analyze that na. Sawa, Ani nitakuwekea huyo. I know you really like that guy. No, there is usually a problem in the world, like mtu anapigwa tu risasi na stories zina. History ya Bobu ni hivyo, imeisha. Personally, I also have a relative who was killed. Tulikuja, I think 1994. I was very young. 1994, my relative has died. Polisi wakakuja hapo. Tutahakikisha we will not leave any stone unturned. Lazima wale ambao wametenda hiki kitendo tujue ni akina nani. 94 and today is when? 1994, 2025. 31 years down the line. So polisi zingine watu wasikuje kwa mazishi kusisimua watu and there's nothing you are doing. So Mary Waithera anasema Njiro mambo hii kiti ya mbele mtu wa DP atachukua. Naona sasa Moses Kuria pia naye ameona sasa wewe. Niwacha story mingi. I have registered for an event with him in unajua anazunguka na my university. Hebu nione. I have an event with him. Where is it? Hey, kwani nimepotea? Where is I have an event with him when hata nilikuwa niwaletee hapa live. We have an event with hey. Yes. I already have an event with him on October 9, 2025. So mimi nadhani Njiro mambo hii kiti ya mbele mtu wa DP atachukua. Karisha atachukua. We will work day and night until achukue. We have no any other option because we have to humiliate Moses Kuria and we have to humiliate UDA. So there's no any other alternative. Sasa hapa nile tu mnaenda tu kupiga hata kama huyu Karisha tumujui tutasema sasa hizo tutatumia experience ya wimbo sasa. Tuseme anaimbanga tuseme ataenda kusoma kazi. Let's hope he was not done that by I doubt his motive for design. So hata ndiye alikuja immediately amelizana akakuja akatuambia sijui uchaguzi itafanyika ama itafanyika. Anyway, ati tufungue hoteli huko mbele hizi kama ile vile walipanga wamefungua hoteli ya bottom up. Hapana. We now want people to vote for people because we understand the rhetoric. Hapa is about humiliating Ruto. Kuna story mingi. It's about humiliating Ruto. So, what? So, wacha niwaekee Sonko kidogo kabla niwaambie ati kuna ingine nimepatana naye hapa ati Sakaja pockets 20 million every day. Nayo hiyo 20 million anatoa wapi? Tena niwaekee Sonko.
Access to the Sapphire Lounge by the club. Turn flight connections into collaboration. Introducing the business card that gives back all you put in. The new Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business.
Na kama unataka kujua kipindi ni sahihi. Pia atatupea direction. Hizo Sonko tusikie kama kuna kitu ataangusha.
Kile tulikubaliana tukapea promise gadi kwa 5:30 tunapeleka mimi. So kwa heshima familia it is 5:30. Lakini watu tunawasalimia. God is good all the time. Tunasalimia kwa hewa Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Kwa nje. Asanteni sana. Dejaji mama yetu, dada yetu, gavana Machakos County, waheshimiwa wale wako hapa wote, dada yetu Masi Mwangangi anasimamia SHA, Florence, Madam Speaker, nachukua nafasi hii kupeana rambirambi zangu kwa familia. Tunaomba Mwenyezi Mungu aiweke roho ya mzee wetu Bernard Bodhoka Makau mahali pema peponi, na kwa familia ukiongozwa na Patrick Mwangangi, Madam Speaker Florence, Masi na mjane wa marehemu, watoto wa marehemu, familia ya marehemu at large. Mwenyezi Mungu awapatie nguvu kwa huu wakati mgumu. Kifo ni kitu cha kawaida. Kwa kila mazishi mimi naongea kuwa sisi sote tutakufa. Ninyi wote mmekaa hapa ni maiti watarajiwa. Because leo Mungu ameita ndugu yetu Bernard, kesho maybe ni Sonko, hata kama Jawavili pia atakufa, dada yetu Masi atakufa, Madam Speaker atakufa, Pati tutafuata ndugu yako, mimi nitafuata baba yangu. Kwa hivyo ni njia sote tunapitia. Bila kupoteza wakati sitaki kuongea yale yameshaongelewa, nilikuwa nimepanga hata mimi kutetea vijana. Lakini kwa sababu Madam Governor ameshanguruma, kwa sababu kitu kimoja ningependa kugusia, shida ya vijana ni joblessness na idleness na poverty. Umaskini ndio adui yetu mkubwa sana. I'm 100% sure hapa kwa hii congregation, hawa mama wengi na vijana nikiwaangalia, wengi wao leo watalala njaa because of umaskini. Kwa hivyo, Father, your point is noted. Tunakubaliana na wewe Father, ulevi unaharibu wa vijana. Hatuwezi dispone vijana wetu sababu watu ni walevi. We should find a solution ya kuaddress hiyo ulevi. Na Madam Governor ameongea, the good work that Madam has done. Congratulations, Madam, keep it up. That is the only way to let a leadership down to the grassroots. Simama na watu yako. Pia Father, kidogo ningependa kuongea. Umeongea mambo ya handouts. Handouts si mzuri, lakini Kenya is a third world country. Umaskini uko juu. Handouts lazima tupeane, mimi lazima nipeane. And a very good example, Father.
Sijui kama mnasikia hiyo. Sonko anasema ati handouts lazima nipeane. Wow.
I respect the judge. Umaskini uko juu. Handouts lazima tupeane, mimi lazima nipeane. And a very good example, Father. I respect the judge. In all my debates tumekuwa nikienda, nikiwa Senate, nikiwa governor, mimi umekuwa kuniambia, why do you like giving handouts? I give handouts because I know what it means kuwa maskini. Mimi nimezaliwa na mama maskini sana, so I know maskini ni nini. For example, Madam Governor akiita watu county headquarters kuchukua basari, kuwapatia empowerment. You don't expect wamama wametoka from Metaboni to Machakos County warudi Mungu. You must give them fair and lunch. Kwa hivyo, kweli polepole ulevi ni stress kwa vijana. Madam ameongea, don't have to repeat that way. Lakini Madam angalia pia njia ya kuaddress ulevi. Job opportunities ni chache. Madam Mwangangi pia Masi, national government wasikia una pesa. Watoto wa vijana wasikizi wanapewa, weekly wazee wanapewa. Let us tushikane na Madam Governor. Wataka zitawa home. All vijana wetu. Let us sit and find a way ya kuempower wao. Apart from kazi hazitoshi, we can give them projects, car wash, miradi ya kuku, and so many things. And this being our county government ya nyumbani, na father ameongea, you cannot do everything na pesa ya serikali. You can also chip in kusaidiana na governor to address the issue ya vijana Machakos County and Kenya in general. Kwa hivyo mimi sitaki kuongea mingi, nataka tu tupigie kelele ya mwisho mzee wetu Bernard, si ndio? Vijana! Vijana! Mtaboni! Mtaboni! Muzaka! Muzaka! Asanteni sana, Mwenyezi Mungu awabariki wote.
This is what Ivy League universities you can get into with a 3.6 GPA.
90%.
The entire
Ati Sonko anasema ati lazima handouts tupeane. I don't know. And I was seeing like young people are like urinating for him. Anyway, wacha tusikia Madam Sipite anasema aje. Alafu tuendelee. I'm a bit in a sobre mood. Nataka kwenda kutulia nifikirie maneno ya Charikaka.
Yala family and ba Mwelisha family ni ukite baba ta governor wa Masaku and also on behalf of the Ndeti family. Ninye nitumiwe ni musiwa tata nuke kuete pole. Ni mwezi ti okendo kemwe. Kanata ije ti okendo kiva na ti musiwiva wa unye nukita na nukita tamwana. Nitumetwa ni mufiolongi nukonenga nechao pole. Mami niendo kwea nyena atiwe mume akwa miaka nyanya mibetuku. Na miaka yesu nyanya na atiwe tumangu mtu endo tunini. Munde ngaini museo. Kalaka nini ke mwaka wa Kelly University. Na niki mama ila na atiwe ni mutumia wakwa no siye kivila chakwa ana chake. Na neka lila si chao siye siye na no sa control ya na uyo chao. There is a lot of confusion. Tafadhali father tima boye ngai confusion yesu ndikeke hata ndikoke na ke mama ni mumunenga chao stress na yule mwa munenga stress ya kweli ndio mwe ni mama watu ungemezo ba kila siku na ndinga ni nje ba lumaiba na
Sijui Nairobi na kuanga aje. Yaani Nairobi wameshindwa na kutafuta governor kabisa. Ai bana. Nairobi I think God will not bless you. Sababu iwezekani at every season munaweka tu reject. Every season too lazima tu, yani like Nairobi has perfected the art of making errors in governance. Lakini ya Nairobi hii sio kurogwa, Hii ni kujiroga hii nayo. Hata kama yeah, Nairobi is beyond repair. Hii yeah, Nairobi nayo. Yeah, Nairobi you cannot like Kuria endorses Mboye. Nilikuwa natafuta hiyo story ya Sakaja. I had just seen it. I hope I will get it. Nataka kuja studio aseme ni kama siipata, lakini ni sawa. I had seen it somewhere here. But there was a guy who was saying like Sakaja anatumianga 24 no, not 20 million in a day. Nikashindwa, hey, kwani ni bibo? So Kiprira amefika, kijana Maringo ati siku hizi hawezi ingia studio, ati anaangalilia chini ya mnazi, ati when Rigathi speaks the sun takes notes and inflation get nervous. His words aren't just spoken, they are anyway, mimi wacha ni spend time yangu hapa. Ikifika time yangu ya kufunga kituo, nisione mnakimbia kimbia hapa. Nikifinya tu end niande kesho. Wewe tu mnichungulie tu, mkuu kuko tu chini ya mnazi tu. Lakini tukifunga Sabina, we will behave like Noah. Hata wewe Alex, mutabebwa na maji huko nje. There was a wimbo we used to sing. Nunu ingorera, waidigeko ingorera, masamine madine. Do you remember the famous Noah episode? Although some scholars say that it did not happen. Watu wengine mimi naongojea tu hapa tu pole pole. Na wale nyinyi ambao ni wainjilisti mlienda hiyo kitu mlikuwa mnaita Rema Feast. Well, they were calling it Rema Feast. Wacha niwatafutie. Bado Asra Fund inaendeleanga. Wacha niwaekee hii. Wacha kwanza niwaekee. Na mnaona hiyo poll hapo? Wacha niwaekee hii ya Hustler Fund, because unajua unaweza kuwa na deni ya Hustler Fund.
Kenyans who borrowed through the government's Hustler Fund financial credit system but failed to repay will be barred from accessing loans from financial institutions. Cooperatives and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya said that before issuing any loan, banks will first check whether an applicant had taken a Hustler Fund loan and repaid it or not. Speaking in Mombasa during a public-private sector forum organized by his ministry in collaboration with the Mombasa County Department of Tourism and Trade, Oparanya said the move is meant to ensure that every Kenyan who took a Hustler Fund loan is held accountable to repay it. He revealed that since its inception, the Hustler Fund has disbursed nearly 70 billion shillings.
Kama hujalipa hustler fund, ukienda kwa banki yote watakuambia sasa wewe.
Wacha nicheke. Huyu ni mzee wa Azimio. Wow. Enyewe Kenya tunanga mzimamo. I remember what they used to talk about hustler fund. Sasa huyu ndiye anakuja kuokota pesa ya hustler fund. Makubwa.
Hauna tabia mzuri ya kukopa pesa na kurudisha, kwa hivyo hatuwezi kukupa pesa. Na wale wafanya biashara ndogo ndogo tuwasikize, kama wanaona iko sehemu fulani tunaweza kuketi tufanyie biashara hapo, ndio kwa sababu hatuwezi kuweka takataka kila mahali katika town yetu ikuwe safi.
All right.
Azimio ndio inakuja kuokota ndeni ya hustler fund. Msicheze na Azimio. So Azimio ndio mobilization wing ya UDA. Wow. Okay. So leo nataka Chris Krucha kuambia nini? So, nimecheka tu because I can't imagine. Jana ulishaona Battle Royale. Huwezi ona hiyo leo. Nikwekea how Nipol advising the speaker at Kenya Gen Z resurgent, right? Wakenya tena bado na BT Irongo ama ni Irango in English. BT Irongo in English.
One would have been forgiven for thinking that the country called Nepal is close to Kenya. Hey, what has happened over the last few hours? As the Gen Z revolution in Nepal has unfolded, what has happened in the motherland is more than super fascinating. What does it mean? In case you've been away from the planet, the young people of the nation of Nepal have carried out what has shocked the world, a revolution. The Prime Minister has resigned and fled. The President of that country has resigned and fled. And still, things have not calmed down in that country. The trigger of all this trouble was when the government insisted on banning social media. Various sites were banned, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, they were banned. And that was the trigger that has now caused the entire world to talk about what is happening in Nepal. And of course, Kenyans remember very clearly their own Gen Z uprising in June 2024, last year, lakini haikufika. And so it may not be so surprising that Kenyans have been tuning in to every bit of information from Nepal. People have been posting videos and reposting videos and updates, etc. Kenyans are very informed on what is happening in Nepal. And there is excitement. And many of them, you can hear it repeated all over the place. I hope our politicians here in Kenya are watching this very keenly and learning something. We have even had a politician, a member of parliament, to be precise, Saboti legislator, Caleb Amisi, coming out and warning his colleagues, take note and be careful. Maybe it's a good idea to quote a section of what Mheshimiwa Amisi has said over the last few hours. And I quote, all leaders must shape up or prepare to swim in the poo-infested Nairobi River when the sun is brightly shining. It is clear. It is more than clear that the Gen Z uprising appears to be a season that is worldwide. And very interesting, it is a season that was here in Kenya. And I believe this is a sign that it is still here. And this should be a wake-up call to our politicians and our leaders who keep on inventing new lies and new schemes to steal from us, the public. This should be a wake-up call for them to wake up before it is too late. Well, on my supercharged show today, I will only cover 2 questions. Okay? 1, where did this thing come from? Where did this thing come from? That one should be very revealing and super fascinating. And then, the Kenya shillings 1 million question, is my second question. Can it still happen in Kenya? Can it happen here in the motherland? Karibu sana. And without wasting any more time, twende kazi.
Sawa Kipril, how are you?
Niko sawa tu.
Unaendelea namna gani? You have just come at our worst day today.
Mimi sina uchungu bwana, nini? What is wrong?
We have a young man by the name Charichak who has been shot in America. We hope he is okay. Just get you.
It's America.
No, even if it's America, this is what happened.
That is he okay?
Wanasema amegongwa shingo.
He's a very well-spoken conservative guy. I like how he talks by the way.
No, I think America has entered another wave of what whereby political intolerance is becoming extreme.
Yeah, but it's so weird, eh? The person who shot him are the most useless people in the world because they're the ones who are anti-gun. Then they're using the same thing to attack him. You know what they're bitter with him about is because he says truth. He says a lot of truth that pinches them.
I think America is
things like let me give you examples because as Africans, most of what we think traditionally is conservative. Where we believe there's only one gender. I mean, there are only 2 genders, male and female. Where we believe that a fetus is a child. Hiyo kitu inawashanga sana, and he always does it. He always catch them at his comebacks are very painful to them. You've seen it. I'm sure you've watched a lot of his clips. And these are delusional people who shot him. I hope he's all right. I like him. I did not hear the name. If it's him, but I hope he recovers. And if indeed he does recover, I hope he gets security next time. Because
what is happening in America? Maybe I can give you that. I think the 19th.
Was that a university?
Yeah, it was Utah University. It is in Utah, a very conservative state. Actually, I'm surprised.
Me too.
Yeah. So
I won't be surprised if that guy flew out of state kutoka California, one of those stupid walk.
Actually, I had already even booked this event 2 weeks to come. He was supposed
I like him.
Yeah, I was actually to visit his event, but I don't know. So I know he will have a slowdown now. Because he is one of the. I don't think any person who wants
his views are not American driven. That's why when I did not know the name,
and
but
he's a
when
threat.
I hear about him,
he's a threat.
His views are international for me. I like his views. Me, feature for me. I like him. I like how he talks. I like him a lot. That's a good man.
Budi ni nongwe sana.
na Bundi mwambie kuja hapa, achana naye. Na Minnesota na Minnesota
Yaani,
from Utah bana, si mbali.
allow Mwembu bia Mwembu. Sasa mimi I know it as Uta. Sasa wewe unaniambia Uta. Unajua Uta ni ile tunarenga. Sasa tunaniambia ni Utah. Sawa, Budi, nimekubali you have already arrived in America na ukakaria kiti. So ruhusu wale ambao hawajakaria kiti.
The man has been here for over 20 years. What do you expect?
Yes. Ati Utah. Hii yenyewe sijaisikia. Hii nayo umenifunza. Kumbe tunasemanga Utah. Yeah, that was
deep accent. Iko accent bana, hiyo di tu vile ameangalia words. Utah.
Uone hata ameniandikia ili ni pronounce vile anataka. Yani, Njuru not Utah, it is Utah. Enyewe leo nimesoma. Okay, na Minnesota, unasema hiyo nimesema vizuri?
Minnesota. No, you have to say Minnesota.
Well, stop bringing jokes in a very serious matter. So, Charikak, ameandika hapo Minnesota.
Minnesota. Huko je tunajanga Somali. Kuna Wasomali wengi huko.
Hebu mwambie atuwekee New Jersey. New Jersey.
New Jersey sijui.
Minnesota. So hebu nione hii. So I'm supposed to say Minnesota. Mimi nasemanga Minnesota.
Ni kama nimesota. Unajua Minnesota, nimesota.
Sawa. But Alex had to prove his importance hata akiwa chini ya kati. Unajua?
Sema Idaho. Sema Idaho.
Nayo Idaho? Idaho, is it Idaho or Idaho?
It's Idaho. No, it's Idaho. Edi, umeishi huko na wacha Wembu. Hebu check if it's okay. Unajua niko worried bana.
No, I don't think we can get information now. They are just saying that from some news nimeona wamesema
it was 1 minute ago.
Yeah, it was short. I think we will have to wait for a day or two. I don't think they can give verdict. The 1961, the shooting of 1960. Even it is calamity, they could have already reported by now, but at least there could be some chances of survival. Because
it's 31 minutes, so he's on the way. I hope he's in hospital, huh?
No, of course.
Sky News, BBC and Sky reported it 50 minutes ago. So hii tunangoja one day.
So, but there is one, and that is the new wave. Mimi Budu achana mimi. Cheyenne. That is Cheyenne ama ni Cheyenne. Cheyenne. Is it Cheyenne?
You know.
I don't know, mistake. So, you know, like I can see America. I can see America is in the same trajectory of 1960s, whereby you remember that in 1960 when there was this wave of shooting and the killing of people. Albuquerque.
Albuquerque. Doko.
You see Albuquerque?
Albuquerque.
Albuquerque.
Alex is coming with jokes.
So in 1960, in 1960, when they are killing Martin Luther, JF, it was a wave of very serious intolerance because of civil rights movement, and some other people were crusaders to that. So I can also start now seeing a bit of intolerance building up in America, especially now for people who are having like these diverse issues. So now it is now. I think now the differences are becoming more political. I don't know how America is now going to solve that problem. That issue whereby people cannot accept difference. I don't know how they are going to solve it. I don't know if they were able to solve it in the civil rights movement. Ama tu ni vile tu ilikuja ikaisha. Now there is now another wave of problem now.
Hakuna ninja. Njeru ninja. And this is a worldwide problem. Ninja tu. When
I think the man just talking in a platform. So why would you even? He doesn't even have a political power. He's just a man.
He's done this for years. He's done this for years. But right now, you have people who have no jobs, people who have no hope. On both sides, by the way. We're having, for me, I believe this recession right now, we're in a recession. This recession right now, after COVID, is what is causing a great unrest with the whole world. The whole world is in balance, and the equilibrium will take a few more years before we come to some balance. From the UK, you can see hata hapa kuna unrest pia. Unaona watu wakikimbia kimbia kila mahali hapa. This is unrest because we can't afford, and a distressed mind moves to your mind just moves to your most explosive political views. You become very intolerable for nonsense that any government is doing. Very intolerable. And I have to take a segue to Ruto, right? And that is what Ruto does not get. This is the worst time you can ever do the stupidity you're doing right now. The worst moment where the economic status of the world, the whole world, this is no time to steal. This is no time to do shenanigans of for one trip you're spending 78 billion, is it millionaire, 78 million shillings. This is not the time you're wearing opulence imerudi tena. And you think what happened in Nepal will not happen in Kenya. The only difference is the cops in Nepal respect human life. Ni wetu tu na upumbavu tu wajinga. Otherwise, trust me, long time ago, my MPs were this close to be tandikwa vibaya sana in parliament. Very close. What you saw in Nepal with all these ministers, that was what was almost happening to our MPs. It's only that our police forces are actually forces, not police services. Are people that can shoot to kill their own citizens that were given the order to protect. That is the only difference between Kenya and Nepal. That's it. It's just that we have murderers that call themselves police officers. And we have people like Raila Amolo Odinga who thinks we can just write a check and we forget about justice. Kitu yenye imenumiza for the last 2 days ni Faith Odhiambo. I believed in that lady. Bana, nikakuja kujua sometimes bana, everyone has a price, doesn't it, Jeff? Everyone has a price. That was a big shock. I expected big things from her. Kaenda akaongelesha baba hivi, anamwitanga huyo msee baba. Maybe atapata nominated MP ama nominated senatorial seat.
Okay, sure.
Maybe I'll be watching on Charlie. Hey, I like Charlie.
Yeah, I can. They are saying condition as known so far. Okay, Alex Budin, go ahead. You can. So it's now official. DCP is not having a candidate in Mbere stronghold. So what's your take about that amidst all the other issues which are happening? Na asante kwa kukuja. Siku hizi mko na maringo sana. Go ahead.
After supporting you every day, nawacha kazi kidogo na kuja hapa. That's the first thing unaniambia niko na wewe unatakana pia wewe. Sijui kama niseme tu ama nisalimie keep habari yako. Acha nikutolea hiyo kofia yako keep yamune. Habari ya siku nyingi.
Mamingala.
Monsieur.
How do we say?
Missing. That's nice. Nice. Sis Mama.
You know why we call you
nice.
Mama?
I don't know.
It's like uncle. No,
oh, really?
Just across the border from us, uncle, yeah, Mama. It's like uncle
That's
from
good.
mother side. Yeah.
There's a heavy history there at Kabianga, so that's a good topic. One day we should talk, me and you.
Bomet and Nyamira, very close counties, kabisa.
Very close. In fact, hapo kwetu hapo Kibirigo, I have an uncle who is actually a Nandi, total Nandi, like yani tuko na shanganga bwana anaitwa mmoja anaitwa Ribo, mwingine anaitwa Yengech, mpaka tukakuja kushanga same father. So it's funny that one person marries a Kisii and a Kalenjin, but they decide mwenye ako hii Kisii mama anaongea na watoto Kikisii, lakini hao wengine wanaongea Kikale, but the father is a Kalenjin. It's so funny. Anyway,
it happens like that, especially on the border. Yeah.
Yeah, on the border. So Njiro, I listened to your clip umeweka ya Sonko, and actually the person who has the audacity and the legitimacy to say what was said yesterday by Moses Kuria, that he's well advanced when it comes to by-election, should be the man called Sonko. If you remember 2010, it was, I think, if I'm not, you can Google and help me know, I think it was mid, if it was not mid, Ndolo put a petition in Makadara that successfully went through, and it shocked us. When it went successfully through, we had bigwigs that were to win that seat because it was to be heavily contested. Then from nowhere, Martha Karua gave somebody a ticket, and a non-starter that nobody cared about. Somebody who had come from actually Kamiti, Ren, Kusini Mariakani, and now was a tout. And, you know, the name Sonko wasn't Sonko itself. It was just a demeaning name at that particular time. And from nowhere, it shocked the whole Kenya. It was about 7 p.m. And when the news came that Martha Karua candidate has won the by-election, Nairobi was in chills. Who is this? Where did Martha Karua bring this boy from? ABCD, and the matatus zikawekwa lights. If you remember that evening, actually I was in Nairobi, matatu zikakuwa free. All of a sudden, all the manyangas that are, you know, they were up to date that time, were giving young boys ride, and people watu pesa inakuja baba inalipa 300,000 inafungwa, kila kitu iko ndani, watu wanakunywa wanamaliza, hakuna mtu kutoka nje, and people actually enjoyed that weekend. And that's how Sonko was incepted into the politics of Kenya. For the people who do not know, that's how Sonko came to the politics of Kenya. And that's why I say these by-elections, Gashagua is doing a lot of blunders, because I think Gashagua is being persuaded with what is called coalitions that are so loose, and he thinks he's doing the right thing. I will tell Gashagua that today is when his DCP party gave up on taking the whole mountain. I think there are times you do not negotiate. You've seen over time. We can zone Nairobi, we can zone Western, we can zone we can zone Mombasa, but we have never zoned Nyanza. We've ODM has never zoned Nyanza. It is its candidate, kufa na kupona. And that is why even Ngondo Were, whether he was a killer, whether he was a murderer, all these allegations are, if his son is the ODM flag bearer, you will see all the entourage and troops. If you remember, one of the most difficult by-elections ever in the history of ODM was Otieno Kajang by-election, because remember, we had just come from Matanga ya Fidel. And that funeral, remember there were international personalities that came, but Orengo, in as much as sometimes he acts like a nationalist, he had to because the stakes were so high, if you remember, there was an opportunity for Kidero and the like-minded people, including the Sudanese, to come together and edge actually ODM out of South Nyanza, because the money was there, the government was there, and everything. And to make it more worse, the persona that represented Raila had just passed on, and we had to replace him. So immediately, when we were in the funeral, Orengo had to speak in Dholuo. The Fidel funeral was in Dholuo, and many people complained. The whole theatrics about it and actics about it was to persuade the people that it's time now to come together, because the government is even killing the son of our leader. And immediately they got out of there, they trooped. They did not even wait for 2 days, because the government too was very, very calculative. We ended up having Raila come to Homa Bay, and we campaigned for Kijana Mdogo. And you remember, his case was the case of Mutula Kilonzo's daughter. But the Kambas didn't know how to stand firm. Remember how Katie came in, and when Katie came in, she was the preferred candidate, she was the favorite, and the Kambas were so excited. And she had performed very well in the petition in the Supreme Court, the presidential petition. We never knew the girl, but all of a sudden, she was like a well-oiled machine. This guy now comes and bombards. And when the government foresaw, and including Kalonzo Musyoka, waliogopa sana, and they had to frustrate the girl that sijui nini. And I think Masajoni worked very well against that girl. Until today, he was not able to go to politics. His brother was brought in because of the fear. But the same case was the same case of Kajwang the Young, because Kajwang was not even registered as a voter. You remember that? He wasn't even registered as a voter. He couldn't even vote himself for Mabey, if you remember the scenario. But they bulldozed and made sure. They made sure that they took that seat and to salvage the Nyanza as a region, so that ODM will remain relevant, will still continue to get the revenues of the political funds, okay, and so on and so forth. And that is how politics works. So I don't know the convictional wisdom that Gashagua used on this. I don't think it was in good faith. I think one way or the other, Ruto has won. Whether the DP wins or whoever who is going to win, if it's not the DCP, I think on this case, I will say it loud and clear that I think we have let UDA win. Whether its candidate wins there or not, it was time to tell Ruto that, the mountain does not belong to you. The new kid on the block is this person called Rigathi Gashagua. I don't know who persuaded Gashagua, but I don't think it's late again. I think I'm capable of persuading Gashagua and telling him that, look, I mean, you cannot do that. Remember when Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta made a mistake and met, and you know, I want you to listen to this carefully, and met Mudavadi, and they made some agreement that nobody agreed. Kabando, with a heavy accent, deeper than yours, he came to the TV and said, Kama sio Uhuru, all roads lead to Mbondo. That was a heavy accent, and every Kikuyu had that. And the next day, they say, Mudavadi ni Madimoni, and that's how that name Madimoni started. And we were able, you people were able to do what? To reclaim that which was yours overnight. And Mudavadi was right there like a fool. And the rest is history. I hope Gashagua, before it is too late, goes and reasons out and says, you know what, it's a high time for me to take my stake. The mountain as a whole, if we want to take Ruto out, and I will assure you this, we cannot joke with even one seat. Hata kama ni ya MCA. So Gashagua either is playing with the minds of the people in the coalition by saying this, so that the troops, the ground forces, comes up and says, you know what, we are not going to agree into this nonsense, so that people can look out and say, you know, it is not Gashagua saying, it is us saying, because we foresaw that yesterday or the day before yesterday. I cannot remember. But this is
Alex
what
he's gone.
Yeah, so my position on this and remains that if Gashagua baridi, it's just a coalition, a loose coalition, I think is not worth it then. I think even my respect for him now will start to wane, because this is where you reinforce. This is where you tell people, and I say, if you want to be in the zenith, and I'm using the highest superlative, the zenith is even higher than the pinnacles and the apogee. If you want to be in the zenith of politics, where you sit and look at people, has to be a person who is willing to make political alignment so quickly, but at the same time, who is ready to betray even your own wife. Okay? Hata kama uko ndani, you have to do that. You betray them even in the middle of the game. So what I'm saying is this: Gashagua is going to learn in a hard way. The politics of dominance is not played the way he wants to play. And I want to warn him that he's giving people false hope that in the end, you know, very soon we are going to say that this person, what he wants is a few MPs so that he can negotiate with Ruto. That's not what the mountain wants. The mountain wants totally to make sure that Ruto is a one-term president. And how do you do that? You bring all the forces together, you compound the mountain to be S1, and look for a candidate, if that is what Kenyan wants. And then you say, okay, we are giving you the presidency for the sake of getting this man out, so that we can salvage the country. But that's not how you do it, you know, because the media has created a rift that is not there. It's just a rift here upper you, which we can say, what's the difference then with Raila coming with Ruto if Muturi just comes with Gashagua and agrees what the ground does not want? Then why should we criticize Ruto and Raila? That's the question I'm asking. If the country has said no, and we are united in saying this is an unholy alliance and this is what the people want, then it's right for us to tell Gashagua, the mountain, this is what it wants. It is not about Muturi. It is not about Gashagua. It is about a statement that we must make to William Samoei Ruto and Raila Amolo Odinga in these by-elections. And if it was possible, we wanted to make it clean and clear that this is not going to be. Just as Sonko came from nowhere, a petty Yamama, Nobody expected, even. In fact, the last option, Sonko, with all the money still that he had, he was given a free ticket by Martha Karua in NARC Kenya because he had already paid for Jubilee na Jubilee campaign. So the whole idea for the people of Makadara was, it doesn't matter who you give this ticket to in Jubilee or in ODM or anything. And the person who had put the petition was actually ODM in Ndolo, who actually successfully put the petition. But they told him, no, we are not going to do this. What we're going to do, we are going to give somebody with an unstarter to humiliate all the political class. If you see the counter-revolution that happened yesterday, which actually I didn't know, Nepal, they did not only beat the government, they went and beat the opposition leader. If you saw that, I was shocked. They went and burnt the house of the opposition leader and they beat the wife too. I think I like those people now, Njiru. I don't know why you are excited. I think that's what excites me even more today, that if a revolution was to happen today, we don't just beat Ruto alone. We also beat Raila. Seriously. We beat him seriously in Aida. Unaelewa? So what we are saying is Gashagua must understand where we are coming from. So if our anger is not going to go into fruition, I think we are also going to start building anger against Gashagua, because I think that is the wrong thing he's doing. That is not the trajectory the people want to move to. We want to make this as a test. This is a litmus test, okay? That going forward, what is the mountain? More especially because it's on the east. We want to tell our brothers from the east that, look, we are not giving Soprano any chance. Neither are we giving this guy that was nominated. You know, it's like, again, saying this guy that was nominated to become Minister for Nini, he replaces his seat. That's basically, we are giving Ruto what he wanted, because that's the game he played. He said, nikitoa huyu bado ni DP tarudi, not Gashagwa. Unaelewa? So it's, why are we giving Ruto what he wanted? That's very sad. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. So good. It's okay. Me, I will not be able to continue with the show today. Nitakuja kesho. Let me go and think deeply about that. So we have lost one of our greatest men in our century. Maybe unless kama upo unajua Charikak, that's why you would take it with a lot of rightness. So lakini kama unataka kuongea mnaweza ongea tu, sina shida, but I can't continue. So let me go and powder that information. It's too much on me. Aya, msimamo, you can speak.
Umempoteza nani kaka?
Okay. Let me show you the if you're not able to follow American politics, so let me show you the man I'm talking about. Just a moment. He was a very effective man.
Yeah, they've just martyred him. They've made him a martyr.
They
don't want to make it easier for the woke people, is it?
Kwani amekufa? Kwani amekufa Njiro?
Yeah, he is gone.
Oh.
clothes dry. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen.
You belong on the water. Water brings solitude. Water brings.
We're honored to be partnering with the Alan Jackson Ministries, and today I want to point you to their podcast. It's called Culture and Christianity, the Alan Jackson Podcast. What makes it unique is Pastor Alan's biblical perspective. He takes the truth from the Bible and applies it to issues that we're facing today: gender confusion, abortion, immigration, Doge, Trump, and the White House, issues in the church. He doesn't just discuss
is the entirety of what DEI entails.
Yeah, very effective.
That being said, I would be fine with DEI gotten rid of if it meant the merit, like a true meritocracy in the United States. But why would I trust Donald Trump to create a meritocracy when he himself has appointed the least accomplished and the least, essentially, yeah, perfect word, the least accomplished cabinet in U.S. history, at least in my opinion. If you disagree, I can explain why I feel that way.
Well, first of all, one thing doesn't have to do with the other, but I'm going to reject the premise that it's the least qualified cabinet ever. So we could talk about that. But even if it was just Donald Trump picking his family members, it has nothing to do with the merits of DEI or getting rid of DEI, right? So that's a red herring. They actually have nothing one to do with the other. One's a repeal of a policy. One is your critique of a cabinet. So which one would you rather?
Anyway, that is the guy. So Musimama, you can say, and then Shik, and then we wrap up. We were actually expecting him in the next 2 weeks, so we had already even booked for his event. Well, lakini mambo ndiyo hayo. God knew that we would not get a chance to have him. I had booked his event already, so maybe we were waiting for him, by the way, so I had already booked for his event. Iko hapa. Yeah. This is the full event. Tulikuwa tumebook yake. We were waiting for him in one of our universities here, lakini mambo ndio hayo. Aya, msimamo endelea. So we have lost one of the powerhouse. I can tell you that man is at the age of 31. What he had managed to do, coming up with that group of his called Turning Point USA, at an age of 31, he is a trailblazer. That's all I can say. And the rest in peace, my brother. Nakaa watu wazuri wakai sana. Haya, msimamo.
Pole zangu kwa huyo rafiki kwa kujua Mungu yeye ndio anayejua zaidi. Sisi wanadamu hatuna letu, so akipanga ameshapanga. Lakini kubwa zaidi kwanza nimsalimie ndugu yangu Kip. Asante sana ndugu yangu Kip for the great support. Nakushukuru sana kaka yangu Alex, vile vile na wale wote ambao wanatufuatilia. Majina siyaoni vizuri, unajua siwezi badilisha mpaka ubadilishe huko tunaweza kusoma. Sasa naona bije namba tu, kwa hivyo mtanisamehe, lakini wale tuko panel na wale wako kwa comment section, mimi si mrefu wa maneno. Wasiwasi wangu bado kwa hawa wanasiasa walotimka kwenye UDA. Yani sijaamini kwamba labda wako katika kweli wanamaanisha. Maana mengi amezungumza hapa Alex, ambayo alikuwa anafungamana na mawazo yangu na wasiwasi haswa wa Gashagua na Muturi na wengine wote wale ambao wanapinga uongozi huu. Maana sioni wakionyesha kwa dalili. Unajua dalili kubwa ambayo alikuwa anaitegemea, kwanza warudi wote pamoja, wachaguane, waseme sasa sisi huyu jamaa ndo tutasimama naye, na lugha ibaki ile moja tu kwamba ni one term, iende viral kwa Wakenya wote. Sasa kwa early stages hizi ambazo tunaziona zinanipa wasiwasi, hilo ndo kubwa zaidi. Lingine nalo ni hili la huyu mwenda zake sasa. Huyu lawyer sasa, kwangu na kizungumkuti, ndo nataka kutolewa taka za masikio. Maana sijui nifuate la IBC wala nifuate la kesi ya KSB na hayo mengine. Hapo mimi niko njia panda, sijafahamu kiini zaidi cha huyu mwenda zake poteza uhai jana kwa kufyatuliwa marisasi. Lakini kubwa zaidi, mbona tufikie taifa ifikie katika hali kama hii ya kutumia wanasiasa ama lawyers ama wenye kusimama na misimamo fulani fulani kuweza kutolewa uhai kinyama hivi. Mauaji haya hatujayaanza leo kuyashuhudia, tumeyashuhudia. Nani anapanga na ni kipi kinapangika kuweza kustopisha hivi, tukiwa tuna serikali kama hivi ambavyo tuna serikali? Maana mwisho wa siku tutambua mambo haya yako kotini, ngojea investigation, mwisho wa siku ndio hiyo imeshatoka chambilecho watoto wa leo. Kwa hiyo kubwa zaidi ni kwamba sidhani kama hili linaweza kutupeleka mahali kama taifa, kama hatutaheshimu, kwamba hatutajali na kuheshimu maoni ya wote sisi kama Wakenya, kwa sababu si kila maoni yatakupendeza eti, si kila mawazo yatakupendeza eti, lakini pia kuna umuhimu ya kukubali kwanza na kusikiza, kwa sababu kuna ile kwamba umuhimu kwamba wote ni Wakenya. So katika hii hali inanipa wasiwasi kwamba mauaji haya ya kinyamanyama na mipango hii, for how long? Tumepoteza watu wenye tija, wenye maana kwenye mpango kama hii tu. For instance, kina Msandu na wengine tangia hapo awali, hata kwa kila Tomboya wakati huo. So for real, vitu kama hivi vinanitia wasiwasi kwamba ni nini mpaka itokee hivi. Ni kwa sababu ya madaraka ama ni sababu ya ulipizaji visasi au ni sababu gani? Labda pengine mtanitoa taka za masikio kwa sababu nimekuamia hapo, lakini kikubwa zaidi hapa, labda tuje na mpango ambao utatusaidia. Mpango tusimame na mtu ambaye haswa hayupo kabisa kwa muda, haswa katika siasa, lakini yuko na nia swafi, basi tumunge mkono kikamilifu na tulisukume hili gurudumu mbele. Kama tutashindwa ni hii njia ya Nepal, unaona. So hilo tu ndo kubwa langu la ufunguzi wa leo, kwa sababu nikisema tutategemea hawa viongozi ambao tumekuwaona tangia enzi, mwisho wa siku wao ndo wanakula pesa za vyama, wanakula pesa za mishahara, wanapeana nyadhifa wao kwa wao. Sasa hii sura ya wanasiasa wao kwa wao, mimi ndio imenichosha kama msimamo. Kwa hivyo nitaachia pale, ndugu zangu, ili ni wape wenzangu nafasi, nikingojea haswa taka za masikio ambazo mtanitoa kuhusiana na haya mambo ambayo yanaendelea. Asante.
Okay, Bwana Msimama, that's fine. So Sheiks, go ahead. I think news ishatambaa kabisa. We have lost our brother. Naona Kagure usikue hivyo ati I will remember no, you know, Hamas also had their own fault. So that is the I don't agree with that, because it is hatred in politics. There were people who did not want to hear what he was talking about. He was a very effective mobilizer, conservative mobilizer. Yeah, let's say it is the evil eye. The evil eye, 31 years old. Ni sawa. Hawa sio wale wanarudingi, lakini is okay. So I hope God will give us another one. Lakini hawa sio wale wanarudingi. I think Charikak was a presidential material of his generation. He was very effective. I believe hiyo ni nyota kubwa sana imeng'olewa katika dunia. But ni sawa, hata wale wamefanya hicho kitendo watakufa tu. The only problem is that they have denied us an opportunity of interacting with one of the best person in the universe. So anyway, it has been confirmed the the young man has died. It's quite devastating to many of us. Besides politics, even from a humanity point of view, he did not deserve to die the way they have decided to kill him. So, and I think now this thing has now, just as I was explaining, we are now in the, just like the way what was happening in the US in the 60s. Nitawekea hapa when Martin Luther was killed, Martin Luther Jr. Sijui kama mmesikiliza hiyo the famous speech ya JF while he was trying to respond to the killing of Martin Luther. So unajua kuna mtu ataambia kuuliza sasa naye huyu nini. You know, I need to show you these things so that you can see the trajectory of the countries where people when watu walikuwa tu wanauawa simply because of what they believe in. That is Kennedy, one of the best speech in our lifetime.
Could you lower those signs, please? I have some very sad news for all of you, and that is that Martin Luther King was shot and was killed tonight in Memphis. Martin Luther King dedicated his life to love and to justice between fellow human beings. He died in the cause of that effort. In this difficult day, in this difficult time for the United States, it's perhaps well to ask what kind of a nation we are and what direction we want to move in. For those of you who are Black, considering the evidence evidently is that there were white people who were responsible, you can be filled with bitterness and with hatred and a desire for revenge. We can move in that direction as a country, in greater polarization, Black people amongst Blacks and white amongst whites, filled with hatred toward one another. Or we can make an effort, as Martin Luther King did, to understand and to comprehend and replace that violence, that stain of bloodshed that is spread across our land, with an effort to understand compassion and love. For those of you who are Black and are tempted to be filled with hatred and mistrust of the injustice of such an act against all white people, I would only say that I can also feel in my own heart the same kind of feeling. I had a member of my family killed, but he was killed by a white man. But we have to make an effort in the United States. We have to make an effort to understand, to get beyond or go beyond these rather difficult times. My favorite poem, my favorite poet was Aeschylus. And he once wrote, "Even in our sleep, pain which cannot forget falls drop by drop upon the heart, until in our own despair, against our will, comes wisdom through the awful grace of God." What we need in the United States is not division. What we need in the United States is not hatred. What we need in the United States is not violence and lawlessness. but is love and wisdom and compassion toward one another, feeling of justice toward those who still suffer within our country, whether they be white or whether they be black. We can do well in this country. We will have difficult times. We've had difficult times in the past, but we will have difficult times in the future. It is not the end of violence. It is not the end of lawlessness, and it's not the end of disorder. But the vast majority of white people and the vast majority of black people in this country want to live together, want to improve the quality of our life, and want justice for all human beings that abide in our land. And dedicate ourselves to what the Greeks wrote so many years ago, to tame the savageness of man and make gentle the life of this world. Let us dedicate ourselves to that and say a prayer for our country and for our people. Thank you very much.
Yeah, those are very serious moments at times. So, Sheiks, you can come and put your point. So, I wanted to share in the last video, ili muone hii maisha tujuangi what happened. New York Post has given his last video. Nataka kuonesha. New York Post has given the last video of Charikak. Yeah, I have seen it. Yeah, so I want to show you saa zingine hii maisha ujuange. Charikak, this is the last video kabla ya pigwa risasi hapo uta. Not a moment ago.
That's a lot of people, you tell you what.
Hiyo kitu amekalia hapo ndio amepitia. He was shot while seated there. Hapo unaona hapo ameketi hapo ndio alipigiwa risasi hapo. I think now America, we have now gone to dangerous zone. This is something which also happened to Donald Trump. Miraculously, he survived. But hii imekuja vibaya. So when we talk of these extremism, these things are always there. It's not a joke. These extremist activities are always there. So no one deserves to punish another one because of political intolerance. So I can see there are people who couldn't want to see this man being alive the next day, and they have decided to kill him. Anyway, I will do a show to honor him, not today, maybe in the next 2 days. Maybe Saturday I will be doing a show to honor him, but it's not one of the best things I needed to hear. It's unfortunate. So I think now.
All right, we're going to get started, everybody. You know how it works. Question and answer. Also, thank you to Lane from YRV5. That was great. Really appreciate it. And we're going to be here for a couple hours. Get comfortable. Bring the best libs that Utah has to offer.
I've been using BetterHelp since 2020 when I needed to find
So kuna wengine wanaona the ideology is becoming, you know, if some people are better at rhetoric than you, you have also to go and refine your rhetoric. So this political hatred is not very good, whereby is one of the bad moments in America. It will involve a lot of tolerance for people to agree that unajua afadhali hata mtu aende aanguke na gari na huko ama kitu ama anyongwe na chakula akufe, other than a deliberate human effort to eliminate life. Anyway, Charekak. I don't believe. But mambo ndio hayo. Anyway, until tomorrow. So please kama hujatupiga subscribe, tupigie subscribe. Tomorrow I will come with our show. Then weekend I want to do a courtesy show for my brother. So yeah, that's okay. You know, it's their belief. So Kagura, whether you have a gun or you don't have a gun, not everybody who has a gun is going to kill another. So we just need safety. Yeah, we were waiting for him, but somebody has denied us an opportunity. Maybe I can show you this. It's not a joke. Some people might think it's a joke. I was a guest for him. Unajua saa zingine sijui nani anaweza kusoma hiyo. I was a guest for him. Our event was supposed to start at around 5. October 9. We had already done all the planning. So TUPSA student event. Yeah. All the plans had already been completed here. So we can call it a done. But by the time we are able to get another effective man like Charikak, to take time. Hawa sio wengi kwa dunia, hawa hawakuangi wengi kwa dunia. Hawa sio wengi kwa dunia. By the time we get another one like Charikak, wamama watazaa. Anyway, ni sawa. The devil thinks he has won, but he hasn't. So it's okay. We have lost one of the greatest men of our era, but ni sawa. Too bad. Kijana ameamuka vizuri leo, full of life. Then an idiot somewhere. So Kagore, wacha kuniambia sijui maneno ya Gaza na nini. I'm talking about is revolutions in America, and even if there are issues which you are not agreeing about here and there, in terms of is crowdsourcing. His crowdsourcing, it was so serious. So us as the conservative movement, we have lost a gem. And I know it is desperation of the other side, evil people who don't want to see serious agendas being catapulted in the society. Huyo kijana hajakufa kitu ingine, amekufa tu watu ambao hawataki kusikia vitu mzuri zinatendeka in a certain country. It was very effective in the last year presidential election, that one I can tell you. Pulling of young people, it was very, very effective. So, but in this hour, so we will continue following it. It is something which is beyond us. The young man has been killed. He has become a martyr at a very young age. Watu wache michezo bana. So anyway, kama huja to subscribe, please subscribe us. We continue building our channel. Until tomorrow, bye.